Now, the former head of ICE, Tom Homan, has just been picked as Border Czar for the upcoming administration.
You know, a lot of people thought that when he talked about mass deportations, he wasn't being serious. I don't know how many times he had to say it for people to realize he was being serious. What it means is grandmothers. What it means is brothers and aunts. Yep. What it means is abuelos y abuelas. It means dreamers. It means your family members. It means your colleagues.
The ladies of The View are angry at Donald Trump yet again, which must mean he's doing a really good job. But before we start laughing at them, I do want to give you briefly this story on Donald Trump's new Border Czar so you can understand the segment you're about to see in context. So folks, do us a big favor. If you enjoy the content, make sure you're subscribed, okay? We are trying to hit 400,000 subs before Trump's inauguration. Doing so is the best way to support the work, and it's completely free. All you got to do is hit that red button down below. And what's going on here? Why was The View so angry in that opening clip? Well, today, Donald Trump announced a new Border Czar. Okay, obviously Kamala Harris. She's on the way out. She's fired, but this is what he said. He says, I am pleased to announce that the former ICE director and stalwart on Border Patrol, Tom Homan, will be joining the Trump administration in charge of our nation's borders. The Border Czar, including but not limited to the southern border, the northern border, all maritime and aviation security. Now, if you don't know who Tom Homan is, again, that was the former ICE director under Trump, but you may remember him from some legendary moments like this.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
Please respect the chair's authority.
I respect the chair's authority, but the chair...
Mr. Homan!
You work for me. I'm a taxpayer. I'm a taxpayer. You work for me. I've served my country. I've served my country for 34 years.
I find your comments
this is out of control.
as well.
I've served my country for 34 years. And yes, I held a 5-year-old boy in my arms in back of that tractor trailer. I knelt down beside him and said a prayer for him because I knew what his last 30 minutes of his life were like. And I had a 5-year-old son at the time. What I've been trying to do my 34 years serving my nation is to save lives. So for you to sit there and insult my integrity and my love for my country and for children, that's why this whole thing needs to be fixed. And you're the member of Congress.
We agree on that.
Fix it.
We agree on that, but I disagree. But I also disagree with your character.
Yeah, so clearly you can see why The View would be pissed off about this. And let me say, as someone who actually heard Tom Homan speak at a private event last month, I will tell you, it's not just a matter of he's a firebrand in the congressional hearings, which is true of a lot of Republicans. No, this guy gets it. He understands immigration policy like the back of his hand, and he's fully committed to stopping illegal immigration entirely into this country and dealing with it very well. So there is not really a single stronger pick you could get to be overseeing the border in this country. And that is precisely why I'm so happy about it. The perfect pick. There couldn't be anyone better, and why The View is absolutely melting down. Just take a listen and see for yourself.
She's feeling better. Now, the former head of ICE, Tom Homan, has just been picked as Border Czar for the upcoming administration, and he recently went on 60 Minutes to justify the price that migrants and Americans will pay for his plan.
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together. I don't care what anybody...
It's such an iconic line. Of course there is. Families can be deported together. Again, that's why they're so scared of Tom Homan. Because you're not talking about some type of like moderate establishment Republican who will kind of signal to the base. But this guy is super solid. Okay. As tough as it gets. And that's why they're so mad. Just saying.
So perhaps that means that they will go back to the plan that was stopped by you-know-who. So maybe that's in his mind, that there is something to do.
Whoopi Goldberg still refuses to say Trump's name, by the way. It's so funny.
Look, Donald Trump won the electoral vote. He won. He's going to win the House. This is what the country voted for. This is, you know,
Yes.
A lot of people thought that when he talked about mass deportations, he wasn't being serious. I don't know how many times he had to say it for people to realize he was being serious. The appointment of Tom Homan today as Border Czar, and he will be in charge of a mass deportation program, the largest the country has ever seen.
No, actually, Anna Navarro, I actually think the American people voted on this exact issue. They knew what Trump stood for, and they agreed with it. By the way, the opinion polls showed this. A long time ago, we reacted to some CBS poll that found like 60 to 70% of Americans supported deporting every single illegal immigrant. Like, that's what they said.
And yet, Tom, a lot of voters seem to think it's not the smart thing to do. CBS News polling recently found that 62% of Americans are in favor of a national program to deport all undocumented immigrants, all 11 million of them.
And this is a trend we so often find with public opinion in this country, is that the general American electorate is significantly more hawkish and tough on immigration than our overall political debate actually represents. And here's what I think also happened. Is for a long time, a lot of Americans, probably like your average person, saw both sides of the illegal immigration debate, because on one hand, we got to have secure borders. People should not be illegally immigrating into this country. On the other hand, you could argue the human side of, oh, well, they've had lives here. What about these people? You know, do you really want to deport them all? Why don't we have some compassion? You know, and for a long time, it was a little bit back and forth. People maybe changed their minds here and there. But what has happened in the past 4 years is I think people's compassion has ran out, because the problem has gotten so bad. The Democrats' approach to it and the way they shove it down your throats has gotten so extreme that now, okay, the time for sympathy on this issue or amnesty was like 10 years ago. Now the American people are completely fed up. Honestly, I think a lot of them who voted for Trump really do agree fully, 100%, not partially, fully with Tom Homan on this issue. And this is just yet another example of people in Hollywood or the media sphere not actually understanding how pissed off Americans really are at this issue. So I'm not running from that. I'm not hiding from that. It's very interesting too. This is not something that Donald Trump was coy about during the 2024 campaign, because usually when you get to the general election, you want to moderate your stances, seem a little bit more popular to the center or the independent voters. Notice how the signs that said mass deportation now were literally front and center at the Republican National Convention, at all of the Trump rallies going into the general election. No, we ran on this very publicly for a reason. Despite what you think, the American people genuinely are big fans of it, because like I said, their patience for this crap has ran out. Just saying.
They say. And now Stephen Miller, as Deputy Chief of Staff, should let you know that he was absolutely serious. And when you talk about mass deportations, people think, oh, it's just going to be the criminals. What it means is grandmothers. What it means is brothers and aunts. What it means is abuelos y abuelas. It means dreamers. It means family members. It means your colleagues. It means your friends. It means people who are part of the society. Those of you who voted for Trump, this is what you wanted. This is what you voted for. You screwed around and you're about to find out.
Again, this is the type of argument I've heard on illegal immigration my entire life. Okay, I'm 21 years old. They've always said these things. The problem, Anna, once again, 10 years ago, this would have been an effective argument. You could dissuade someone, you know, okay, fine, I'll support Obama, whatever. Like I said, you guys, your political side has made the situation in this country so extreme that people, for instance, who live in Aurora, Colorado, or Springfield, Ohio, do you think they really look at their lives? The fact that migrant gangs, for instance, are literally taking over apartment complexes with guns, and they care to listen to your compassionate humanitarian arguments about how, oh, well, the illegal immigrants have lives too. Okay, no one's talking about arresting them or throwing them in jail or something. All we're saying is you came here illegally, you should go back home. Oh, but it's not the compassionate thing to do. Again, I think the American people at this point are tired of having to listen to the fact that they have to be the most compassionate people on earth when their own leaders show no compassion for the American citizens. You know, there's nothing compassionate about this situation. You have drug cartels poisoning Americans. They're flooding that border. Violence, criminals are coming into this country. Okay? That's not to mention all of the economic downsides and all that other stuff that you have to deal with illegal immigration. The American people are looking at this and saying, well, stop asking me for compassion when you have no compassion for me as the political class. Just saying. So I'm very happy about the Tom Homan pick, okay? No, it was not just a empty campaign promise or some crazy thing Trump said in a speech. No, We always meant this. This was always the plan, and it was the plan for a reason. Not because we hate people or we have some type of bigotry, but because we are a nation of laws, and it is long time that America once again enforced those laws. That's really what it comes down to. And the American government, by the way, the interest is doing what's best for our citizens, not for literal foreigners, okay? Okay, illegal immigrants in this country are foreign nationals on our soil without our permission. And we're supposed to take care of them. We're supposed to be, oh, it's cruel to say, hey, can you go back home, please? You're not supposed to be here. It's just saying. Like I said, there's a reason the American people have stopped buying these arguments. With that said, though, guys, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comment section down below. Do you like Tom Homan as the pick for the Border Czar? Be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe if you are new, and until next time, God bless and peace.